fishers of men. 32,000 living species of fish. That means different species of fish require different techniques. The way Jesus approached the woman at the well was not the same way he approached Zacchaeus. Are you seeing that now? There is wisdom that must be understood and deployed by every soul winner. There are many soul winners that have gotten into trouble because they did not know that this sea you are seeing called the earth has various kinds of fish. There are people who blindly went to preach with fanaticism without help. They are in prisons today. And it's not just, I'm not talking of persecution or martyrdom. I'm talking of standing in a sea and not knowing the kind of fish that will come out. Every fisherman in training knows that you must know the various kinds of fish. Let me tell you the various kinds of fish that talk about the variety of unsaved people. There are people Jesus said are already close to the kingdom. That means all it takes, they are overripe for a harvest. Are we together? Already by their personality and their disposition, they are just one step into the kingdom. Morally right, nice people, very thoughtful, very philosophical. By reason of their philosophical stretch, they have already gleaned attributes that make them responsible people. It's easy to receive the gospel, no argument. You bring Jesus, they embrace it. Another kind of fish. There are fish that you have to dig the sea, the ground, to bring them out because of how deep they have gone. Are we together? There are people, as soon as you see them and say, look, I want to tell you about Jesus, they say, sit down. Where was Jesus born? I will tell you the date. At the end of it, you end up with debates and arguments, and you see how much of scripture you don't know. They leave you feeling bad and they say, go and do your homework before you come and talk to me the next time. The problem is not the sea. The problem is not the fish. The problem is that the fisherman was not trained. There are various kinds of fish. There are fishes that bite and kill. Did you hear what I said? They bite anything, including other fish. You will meet them eating other fish before your arrival. Are we learning? When you are dealing with a fish that eats other fishes, you have to be careful. Ask any fisherman that you came and met the fish before your arrival. You met it eating. Have you seen, most of you watch National Geographic, these great whales, they just open their mouth and allow these tiny fishes to just swim inside and they close it. And you want to use a hook to get that kind of fish? A fish that is used to killing, a fish that does not mind spilling blood. No, there is an intelligence you need. Is someone learning now? The way you win a naive, innocent person is not the way you win a cultist who can kill. At every point in his life, there are weapons with him. You need to be careful. There is a skill. Fishers of men. There are people who, out of zeal, they entered one chance, not by mistake, by themselves, because they felt they wanted to talk to a group of 6 people by themselves with wisdom. And while they were speaking, they noticed nobody was responding, but the car was moving. Until they got to a point where they said, come out. And they found themselves in a forest somewhere. Now, I'm not being sarcastic. We blame everything on the mission God gave us, not knowing that there is a training for fishermen. If the fish swallows you, most likely you are Jonah. If the fish swallows you, most likely you are not a fisherman. If he tells you to walk on the sea, even if you are sinking, he will hold you, because it's his word that made you come. So sometimes we need to stop blaming God for the inefficiencies that have been experienced at the mission field. It was a product of zeal without training. There are people who have died as genuine martyrs, honor to them, but there are people who have died the death of fools and the death of amateurs. God is teaching your fingers, your hands to war and your fingers to fight. That at the sea, just like the earth, the field is wide, the heart is plentiful, and there are a variety of fish. The second thing every fisherman knows, and every witness and every soul winner must know, is that there are a variety of fishes in every sea. Number 3, the third thing we learn from the training of a fisherman that applies to a soul winner in training is that there are various techniques for catching fish. When it has to do with the business of fishing, like it has to do with the business of soul winning, the mission is the same, the message is the same, but there are various techniques. And you know why by now? Because there are various kinds of fish. For instance, there's what they call the bait and the hook, that you tie a bait to a hook. You've seen fishermen do that. Usually that goes for a small fish that you can even lift by yourself, and so they put worms or they put whatever, a bait in a hook, and then they just throw it at sea or at a small pond or a river, and they wait patiently. And they usually can know when a fish has taken it, because it bites the bait together with the hook, and then they wind it backwards and pull it up and put it into a basket. Many of you have tried that. Many of you probably fish that way. Another strategy is to cast your net. The use of nets is called casting, that you can cast nets, and even that, as I study, have various skills to do it, but I'll save that for another day. At least these two tell you that to catch fish does not just require one approach alone. This is very powerful. There is the bait and the hook, and there is the casting using a net. And even that one happens in many ways. Write this down under point 3. Not everybody will be saved on a crusade ground. Not everybody will be saved by a preacher, but everybody should be saved. Not everybody will be saved on a crusade ground. Not everybody will be saved by a preacher. There are many skills, many techniques, and many strategies. This is very powerful. It's a very important training that any fisherman knows, that depending on what kind of fish, depending on what location of the sea, there are various techniques that you can deploy to catch the fish. Now listen carefully. Still on point 3. I wrote something here and I want you to listen. Every God-ordained ministry in the body is sent by God to a particular group of men. Every God-ordained ministry in the body of Christ is sent by God, anointed by God to fish a particular group of men. Both hooks and nets are ways of catching fish. The hook must never downplay the net, and the net must never downplay the hook. They are both methods of catching fish. Are we learning now? You must understand that for this evangelical work, these missions, these global missions, this soul winning work, it is not the method you know that is the only method. There are a variety of methods, God ordained methods. I'm just teaching you in this training that every fisherman, like every soul winner, if you do not understand a strategy, observe carefully and ask God. Don't condemn. When you see Jesus with the woman at the well, don't conclude what is Jesus doing at the well. It is a strategy for her salvation. When you see Jesus with a madman in Gadara, don't conclude what is he doing with demon spirits. Watch to see what happens to that madman when he comes back to his right mind. Are we together now? Our witness is ineffective because through religion and the traditions of men, we have defined a path based on our religiosity, and we are forcing and blackmailing people to go through that mold, and that anybody I see with a hook if I'm holding a net, or anybody I see with a net if I'm holding a hook, is not a fisherman. You may be wrong. There are various kinds of fishes, and there are various techniques for catching them. So when you see God anoint somebody with a unique ability just for prosperous people, don't condemn. There are souls in the business world that God has given that person a mandate to reach. If it is not your assignment, respect it and stay in your call, but don't condemn. You are losing fish. We have been losing fish to the religiosity of men. If you see a woman called into women ministry, don't say, what is this women and all these their problem? They will soon start gossiping about their husbands. That is not your concern. There are women who will never be saved till a woman talks to them. There are women who the nature of their pain will require another woman like them to say, I know what we are going through. Are we together now? As anointed as God has made me by his grace, there are certain elderly people who will only respond to Baba Adeboye's altar call. I can preach there and they are impressed, hitting their children and say, be like this man, don't be stubborn. Yet they are not saved. They are hearing, even if I'm crying on stage. But Baba will come out and speak in 30 minutes and make an altar call, and the woman will stand up and come up, because there are various kinds of fish. We are all fishermen. Let's respect ourselves. There are many people who have mastered the art of using their hook, who are about to throw away their hook looking for nets. Unfortunately, your mandate does not need a net. If you carry that net, you will find out you don't even have the strength to swing it. You may follow that net into the sea. And there are many people who have been given nets, but the controversy with holding a net and swinging it, they would rather just hold a hook, but you will only catch one fish per hook. The message is, respect the diversity of ministries within the body, provided they are genuinely born again and provided they love God. Don't make business people feel less of witnesses. Don't let drama actors, Christian drama ministries, feel less of actors. Don't allow worshipers, those called into the worship ministry, you may not like the way they jump, but don't be too quick to judge. Go and find out the investments they make in the secret before they come out to jump. Don't be too quick to judge. Just because they sing the way you don't want does not mean they are not singing to the glory of God. Are we together? Don't judge people called into campus ministry. Their ministries to young people, they will wear t-shirts and jeans and be jumping. Don't laugh at those who are called into the ministry of fitness and they are using it for the gospel. Their job is to tell their story from losing so pounds. Now I am weak, and they preach Jesus. We must respect the fishing tools that every fisherman carries. Now the truth I must balance is that there are tools that are not tools. For instance, if we see you standing with a knife at sea, you are not a fisherman, because holding that knife that way is not a tool. So I'm not just saying we should just celebrate any tool. No, the tools may be diverse, but when you see a fishing tool, you know, because you can see the assignment of that tool and you can see the result from using that tool.